It's Minicamp and OTA season, and today we're looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and getting a good look at Baker Mayfield. We're going to watch him throw the ball around, throw some dimes, but before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're talking about practice, rookie camp, OTAs, minicamp, soon to be training camp. If you want to see what your players are doing behind the scenes, it's right here. You want to see your rookies, your quarterback battles, guys you're drafting in fantasy football here soon. You need to know what they're doing on the field. You want to know if they're winning their job? It's right here. Click that button. Stop missing out. We're looking at Baker Mayfield today. 4.5 minutes of Baker Mayfield from this offseason. We're going to let it rip. We're going to keep talking ball. We're going to loop this like we always do. Here we are. A lot of this from the Bucs. A lot of this from beat reporters. Baker Mayfield. There are not many quarterbacks ever that's more enjoyable than him. Like that laid-back, calm, just persona he got. There's Kyle Trask, and I remember the big debate was between those two. But Baker Mayfield is a quarterback that the Browns screwed up on. That should be the Browns' all-time quarterback right there. That should be the Browns' guy. The Browns slipped up there. Now they got a four-way quarterback battle. Now we're watching him sling the rock. We got Emeka Egbuka in the first round. We got McMillan last year. Godwin's back. Mike Evans still holding strong. If those two veterans can stay healthy, Baker Mayfield's going to be slinging it. And if Emeka Egbuka can really develop fast for a rookie, that's going to be huge for him. That's going to be huge. And McMillan had a good relationship with Baker last year. That's the thing about that. Had a good relationship with him. He was killing it in camp. We're going over the highlights and the clips. Killing it. Do not forget about him just because they brought in Emeka Egbuka. If anything, that could be a good tandem down the line. As we watch these veterans slip with Father Time. And maybe Father Time hits them. Maybe they don't this year. Maybe they don't. We don't know. Tez Johnson. I saw an interview talking about Baker, and he said, Baker doesn't care. Baker doesn't care who you are. He's going to give you your chance. That's what I like about Baker Mayfield. What I see about Baker Mayfield is a damn good quarterback prospect here. Veteran quarterback, not just prospect. But the one thing about him is he's got a good rate tossing it to the running backs and yet pushing it deep downfield. There's a good mix there. There's a good mix. You see Rachaad White. It's good in the receiving game. Of course, we know Bucky Irving. There's some talent here for the Bucs. There's some talent. We could go 4 wide, and teams are going to have a headache. They're going to have a headache now. We're going 4 wide. Emeka Egbuka's the 4, or McMillan's the 4, or whoever you want it to be. In this dream scenario, Baker Mayfield's running it. Say less. Say less. That's a good offense. That's a good offense. Bucky Irving in year 2. You got Rachaad White. A lot of people are down on Rachaad White, but he's sharing the backfield with Bucky Irving. You got Sean Tucker as your RB3. What? This is a good offense. Baker Mayfield. You look at the Browns and their history and look at what they missed out on. You saw him with the Panthers. The thing about the Panthers, his numbers of pushing it downfield. His numbers of pushing it to the running backs. And you saw that as a potential fit for this team. At that time, it was Rachaad White, and you're seeing what was going on with Bucky Irving and everything else down the road after that. But he's fitting well. He's fitting well. Baker Mayfield coming to his own. So you also have to look at some of these players as, they go through their career. Sometimes it's got to be the best destination for them. Coaching changes. Sometimes you got to look at these franchises. You look at Shedeur Sanders with Cleveland, and like I've been saying, and everybody keeps talking, Shedeur should be the guy, Shedeur should be the guy, Flacco this guy this. You got to remember it's the Browns. It's the Browns, guys. We're looking at Baker here, killing it. McMillan's good. McMillan's a good wide receiver. He's going to just extend in this offense. Emeka Egbuka is a good route runner. He's thick. He can be a power slot. What I mean by power slot's a guy you can put it inside and outside, but since he's bigger and gets you yards after the catch, and it's hard to bring down tackling in the open field, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. We're seeing a lot of McMillan. We're seeing a lot of, you know why? You know why? Those two have a good rapport. We covered that last year extensively. Jalen McMillan is a damn good wide receiver. Emeka Egbuka too. So we're getting younger here on the back end, but yet we're studly with our vets. We want to see what Chris Godwin's looking like from that injury too after the offseason. I want to see what that's looking like. I want to see Mike Evans another full season too. I think that would be great for Baker Mayfield. But we're looking at him and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as we get ready in training camp. And what do I want to see from this team in training camp? We know about the run game. We know about the running backs. I want to see what those two young wide receivers are going to be doing and how they're going to be implemented with those veterans. McMillan and Emeka Egbuka. I want to see how much McMillan has developed. I want to see Emeka Egbuka take a step forward. Even though he's a rookie, I want to see him just jumping in there. Just start making moves. I want to hear stories about him from the beat writers. If I start hearing a lot from McMillan and Emeka Egbuka from the beat writers, that's going to be huge for this team. That's going to be massive. Tez Johnson taking a step forward. Tez Johnson creating separation. Smaller wide receiver, but nasty in the open field. If those two young wide receivers, though, Emeka Egbuka and McMillan, takes a step forward, and the veteran wide receivers start off healthy, all system goes, that is a deep, nasty wide receiver depth chart. That is a deep, nasty wide receiver depth chart. And it's not really that big of an if. McMillan's got a rapport. He came on strong last year at the end of it. Had a strong rapport with Baker Mayfield this time last year and into training camp. Emeka Egbuka, storied career at Ohio State. He was there being a producer. 5-star recruit coming out of high school. Good route runner. Good size. Powerful wide receiver. And all these wide receivers are a little bit different from each other. That's the thing about that. But that will be a deep... You got Shepard there. You got some talent on this team. You got some talent on this offense. Would not be surprised if this becomes one of the surprise teams that people are forgetting about. When I mean forgetting about, some of you guys are Bucs fans watching this, but globally, social media... A lot of people thinking about like Chiefs, Eagles, all this. You look at this offense, though, and those young guys take a step forward. You guys got like Hassan Reddick and everybody else, but those young guys take a step forward. How are you going to stop this team? If everybody stays healthy, how are you going to stop this team? Baker Mayfield's a good facilitator of football. And it all goes back to the Cleveland Browns. It all goes back to when he put the flag in the 50-yard line to Ohio State. This kid's got some moxie. This guy is chill. He's got that leadership ability, but he's not afraid to put the cojones out there. This is what you're getting from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I believe that if these young wide receivers, when we're looking at Emeka Egbuka and McMillan, if they take a step forward in their development from what we saw from McMillan last year, and Emeka Egbuka exceeds expectations as a rookie this year, those veteran wide receivers stay healthy, this passing game is going to be fire. It's going to be massive. It's going to be fire. Let me know what you think, though, in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.